Hi guys, this is S&DJR 88 speaking with a much overdue update on the railway room at Lyncombe Vale. So welcome to what I believe is the 10th instalment on the railway room and of course Lyncombe Vale. It's been quite a while since the previous update. I think at the time of filming it's been about 4 months, so I do apologise for how long it has taken to get round to filming this video. Mainly, I've just been so busy over the past couple of months, I haven't really been able to put as much time as I want into the layout. And of course, it's just finding the motivation to do all this. You really need to be in the right frame of mind to actually work on these sort of things and of course put a video together, and that has been very difficult over the past couple of months, so I must apologise for that. Of course, as with all these videos, I hope this to air as a premiere, so hopefully there'll be a live chat on the side of the screen now, so it'd be great to hear your thoughts and opinions as always on what you see in this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into the update. So the first major bit of progress is the addition of the backscene to the Combe Down tunnel section of the layout. Now this is something I've been meaning to do for a number of months and I finally got round to doing so. Like the rest of the layout, I've opted for an ID Premium self-adhesive backscene, with this one being their Tall Trees Pack A. This has carefully been applied to pre-cut backing boards, which have then been fitted into position. Originally I was hoping to have this as one continuous curved scene. However, due to the constraints of the board, I've had to resort to joining two boards together at a 90-degree angle. Despite this, I feel I've managed to get the join between the tree line just right, which will hopefully be disguised further with the addition of physical trees in front of it. I've also layered up parts of the scene, trimming around trees that were not being used and adding them to certain areas to build up extra height and depth. I've used this to good effect behind the viaduct, with this area built up with an extra 3 layers. For the moment, I've left the section above the tunnel itself blank, as I plan to have this as part of a removable section which I covered in the previous update. This will allow me to access the area to recreate those iconic Ivo Peters shots looking down on top of trains as they enter the tunnel. Work on the Combe Down tunnel section has continued, with the structure now pretty much complete, thanks to the addition of the tunnel bore. Like other parts of the structure, this has been formed from Will's coarse stone sheets, which proved to be a challenge in itself. I started by forming an outer structure, using 1mm plasticard to help the sheets hold their shape. This was scored numerous times, allowing me to get the curved form before gluing into position. This process was then repeated with the Will's sheets, which were bonded to the inside using plastic weld, making sure the stonework lined up with that on the tunnel portal. This required a fair bit of shaping, clamping and filling, but the results were well worth it. The left wall of the bore has been purposely made longer than that on the right. This allows me access to the point work, which will eventually lead to the fiddle yard, without compromising on the effect of the tunnel heading into the distance. Once boxed in with a proposed storage shelf above, this should give the tunnel a deceiving sense of length. As with other structures on the layout, the brick and stonework was completed using various dry brushing techniques and washes. This was rounded off with a coating of weathering powders before finishing with a dusting of soot from the real tunnel, which I feel has really brought the model to life. Devonshire Tunnel has also received a bit of a facelift. During further research and my most recent visit to the site, I noticed the parapet wall was in fact constructed from brick rather than stone. This led me to alter my representation to suit, cutting off the original stone rendition and replacing it with a new one scratch built from Will's brick sheets. The portal was then fully painted and weathered using similar techniques as previously mentioned, before receiving a dusting of real soot from the tunnel itself. As with Combe Down Tunnel, I plan to use the same method to create the tunnel bore. However, installation won't be as straightforward due to the portal through the wooden support leading onto the workbench. This means the tunnel will need to be slid into position, most likely requiring the temporary removal of the cutting. In theory, this shouldn't be much of an issue and will hopefully make the task a whole lot simpler. Another structure which has also received some recent attention is the occupation bridge. As the original prototype no longer exists, finding information and images on the structure has been a bit of a challenge, meaning I had to resort to a bit of interpretation in order to create the model. One thing that's been a bit of a mystery is to whether the bridge, like other structures along this section, incorporated brickwork repairs. As it stands today, the majority of the abutments are brick. However, this appears to be an addition to support the new concrete deck for the cycleway. It was thanks to a recent Somerset Dorset book that I came across a large coloured image featuring a clear enough shot of the bridge which appears to show a small brickwork repair just below the deck. I've since added a representation of this repair, which I feel adds a bit more character to the structure. There's also been a number of exciting new additions to the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway fleet, some of which you've probably already seen in my recent S&DJR fleet video, a link to which should be on screen now, as well as in the description below. First up, we have Armstrong 4F number 58 in Prussian blue. The model was released as a Batman Collectors Club exclusive back in 2013, and it's one I've been trying to track down for a number of years. Though not thought to be an authentic livery for the class, I'm sure you will agree it suits the loco extremely well. Next up, we have a very recent addition, so much so it wasn't featured in the previously mentioned video. It's another Batman S&DJR Ginty, this time number 24, an exclusive model for the Cheltenham Model Railway Centre. The model has received a number of enhancements by the previous owner, including footplate crew, fireman's tools, lamps, polished buffers and smoke box straps. I'd like to say a massive thank you to Lewis for the opportunity to purchase this model and the excellent service. The S&DJR wagon fleet has also grown with the addition of a wide selection of private owner open wagons. These bear the names of numerous collieries, quarries and other businesses which were dotted along the route of the line, with locations including Radstock, Masbury, Evercreech and Glastonbury to name a few. Last, but certainly not least, we have probably one of the most exciting new additions, S&DJR 7F number 88, the locomotive for which this channel is named after. Produced by Batman back in 2012, the model has eluded me ever since, until a good friend of mine, Barry, stumbled across this example, which he kindly put aside. 88 has gone on to make its first appearance in the previously mentioned S&DJR fleet video, and will no doubt feature in many more up-and-coming videos on the channel. There's also been a couple of new additions to the Somerset and Dorset Railwayana collection. The first of which is this replica 82F Bath Green Park shed code, which you might have spotted in the thumbnail of my previous update. I purchased this plate from the Somerset and Dorset Railway at Midsummer Norton a few years back, with the intention of mounting it below my previously featured replica Pines Express headboard. Despite being cast in resin, the plate has a convincing metallic look to it, making it an ideal substitute for the genuine article, which no doubt will cost a small fortune. One item that is original, however, is this London and South Western Railway luggage label with the destination of Binniger, one of the stations further along the line. The label was kindly gifted to me by Craig Owen, who I managed to catch up with at the Thornbury Model Railway exhibition towards the end of last year. Once again, I would like to say a massive thank you to Craig for this wonderful gift, and be sure to check out his channel, which features his superb OO Gauge Garden Railway. And finally, we come on to this, the official name plaque for Lyncombe Vale. Now, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Adam of 82A Studios, who had this custom made for me via a company called Off the Rails Online, which specialise in personalised station tomes in various regional liveries. Now, as you can see, this one is finished in controversial Western region chocolate and cream. Now, the reason behind this is, first of all, the period on which the layout mainly depicts, which is the 50s and 60s. And for a good part of that, the Somerset and Dorset came under the jurisdiction of the Western region, which saw most of the station signs along the line painted in this colour scheme. Second reason, and probably the biggest reason for choosing this colour, is in fact a road sign that was located in Lyncombe Vale. Now, Lyncombe Vale never had a station, which meant it never had a tome. However, the site itself had a road sign which featured in Ivo Peters' footage when he was filming at this location, and the colour of that sign was chocolate and cream coloured. So I thought it'd be a very fitting tribute to have this sign in this colour to sort of capture the essence of that sign, which was probably located somewhere in the region above Devonshire Tunnel, which ironically is where this sign is positioned to on the layout. Now, another good reason for the positioning here is it's right opposite the door, so when you open up the door and walk into the railway room, this is the first thing you see and it catches your eye as soon as you walk in. Now, at the moment, it's not permanently fitted. You can see it's just held on with masking tape, but it's still on its backing piece of card. The reason for this is I just want to show you guys what it will look like when it's in place, but also it means that I've got the opportunity to obviously finish off the the skirting board around the edge of the layout here, and of course actually doing the scenery itself without getting paint or glue on it. So hopefully this will be one of the finishing touches that I'll add to the layout, but that's still a long way off yet, but it's something to look forward to. So I guess that's all for this update, and once again I hope you've enjoyed the progress that's been made to the layout over the past couple of months. Moving forward, I honestly do not know when I'll get around to filming another video like this. They do take a lot of my free time and effort, and it just requires a lot of motivation to sort of committing and getting around to producing these videos. I time checked the last one and it worked out at about 36 hours from the start of filming to actually processing the video. So yeah, it does take quite a long time to put these videos together, and I know you guys are really appreciative of these updates and are always looking forward to the next one, but I cannot put a time scale on when that next video would be. So it could be a couple of weeks or it could be a couple of months, and I think the latter will be more likely in this case. Of course, if you want to see more up-to-date progress as and when it happens, I do have an Instagram and Facebook page, and I'm always posting photographs of what I'm working on as and when they happen, so do check those out. They're of course under the same name, S&DJR 88, and I know a couple of you guys are already following them, and it's great to see that you guys also have those platforms as well. So until next time, I guess it's all that's left for me to say is this has been S&DJR 88 speaking, and thanks for watching.